person on the face of the earth in her. And she taught me that if I would give, I would never go without. And she is the epitome of that truth. And my mother also taught me what it is to serve with your whole heart. If there's ever been a servant, it's my mother. And we know that we're gathered in a church that worships the servant of all. So I just thank you both for showing us who God really is. And we love you and we're proud of you.
Oh, Becky, can I go next?
I'm so sorry. Hi, I'm Becky. I'm Janice. I'm Davey. Even though I'm old, I'm still Davey, according to this one. But one of the things that makes me proud that my parents are my parents, because there's so many, is the fact that most people forget marriage is a partnership. It's not typical roles. It's not one person doing one thing, another person doing another thing. It's being a team. And when one person's down, the other one picks up the reins and pulls forward and makes sure you survive. And that's what my family was. Good, bad, and different, angry, happy, sad. We move forward, and we move forward as a unit, even if we're not happy with each other, even if we're angry with each other. Love always underlies all of that. And that determination and strength is what creates survival. My mom, on the other hand, is a complex woman. But in a beautiful way. So she fostered a love of education in all of us. And at a time when she was being raised, when a lot of women were taught, you know, you're quiet, you take this role, and this is what you do. I had a grandfather who fostered a love of education for her, who would sit at the dinner table with her and discuss world events. And that filtered down to us. And filtered down to her teaching us that no matter what the world says, if they say no and God says yes, you can do it. You can be it, and nothing can stop you. And that's something and a gift that she gave all of us. My mother has an incredible strength. Unlike any person I have ever met in this world. It doesn't matter if the wall is 10 miles high. If something she loved is behind it, or if there is something required to care for someone she loves, she is going to barrel through that thing and make sure that it happens. And that's the way that she's always loved us. She also is the most sensitive person I know, even though she pretends not to be. And has the greatest capacity for love that I have ever known. This one was the wild one. This one was the sneaky wild one when she went to college, but no one really knew. But all of us, including me, I was a hot mess at some time. And we didn't always make her happy. And she loved us anyway. With an amount of love that is unfathomable. And she always stood by us. And she supported all of our decisions. And she's picked us up even as adults when we've fallen down. And it doesn't matter if I'm 60 years old, she's still gonna be my mommy. And she's still gonna be there. And if I get sick and live 4 hours away, she's gonna call me and ask me, can she drive up and take care of me? She sacrifices everything for everyone. And sometimes it feels like you don't deserve it. But then you realize just how blessed you are to have. And there's nothing in the world that would make me more proud than for the rest of my life to be able to say that you're my best friend and my mom.
Can I get all the grandkids to come up, please? April, Joe, Seth, Taylor, Green, Marty.
Hi, like Montana said, I'm Joe Mason. My name is Marty. I'm not very good at articulating my thoughts. I'm not very good at public speaking, so I'm not really going to be standing up here giving little speeches on the rest of my family has. I'm just going to say I love you. I'm proud to be your grandson. Thank you for everything you've done for me, and pretty much it, really.
attributes of God that you have shown is long-suffering love. And I mean, my whole life, that's what you guys have been for me. You've been a safe place. You've been an accepting place. Other than my own family, you were one of the only safe places that I had. And no matter what we did, no matter how many disagreements, and even with the two of you guys, I've seen you guys have your moments. I won't go into detail. We want Catholic, we want Lutheran, what do you expect? Pepper's fly, Viking, Irishman, but you taught me one important thing is that love is sacrifice and it is endurance. And you know, before my wonderful stepfather came into my life whenever I was 10, you guys were the only really good marriage that I saw growing up. And again, I see you guys have moments with each other, but at the end of the day, you never stopped loving. You never stopped loving. Even when you wanted to cuss each other out, or they did it. That is sacrifice. We all know each other. My point is, even when you were at your peak, when it came to your frustration with each other, you've never given up, and you always kissed each other good night. You've always made coffee in the morning for your sweetheart. You've always pat Nick on the head and made a mistake even when you wanted to put your foot down, you said yes here a million times in a day. But really, thank you, because you taught me what to look for.
Okay, so, you guys have really just, throughout my entire life, you guys have really shown me, like, what love was and what it was, like, past who you really love me. I'm gonna get emotional, sorry. So, you guys have shown, like, two different types of love for me, and for my grandma, like, she showed me what sacrificial love, like, really is. Like, you have literally given everything for this family, and everything for me. And I've never got to meet you that before. You have like literally given up your entire life to make sure that our family is okay, and make sure that I'm okay. Like my grandma, like anything that I wanted, like if I wanted to learn how to play piano, if I wanted to go on a trip, my grandma was like, here, Brady, look, I'll help you out. If I needed somebody there, my grandma would come and pick me up if I was in a bad situation. Like my grandma did everything for me, would go out of her way for me, no matter what it was. My grandma was always there for me, and I really like can't thank you enough for that. And my grandpa has really shown me what unconditional love is. And throughout everything, like I have, honestly, I mean, I've gone through my crazy stage too. I kind of went through a lot of the same things my mom did whenever she was younger. It wasn't as bad though. I wasn't as bad, but I mean, I could go through my stage. But my grandpa, like, he's been there for me through everything. Like, I have never felt misplaced with him. Like, I have always felt accepted by him throughout every single stage of my life. I always knew I could go to my grandpa if I needed somebody to talk to, or if I needed to call somebody on the phone. And he always tells me before he leaves, if you need to call me at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, it's okay. I have your back. And my grandpa has always been there for me, no matter what it was. And like my sister said, up until she was 10, I was 8 years old, like, we didn't have a dad in the picture. And my grandpa was literally my dad. Like, he's the one who took me to preschool whenever I was a kid. I actually went to preschool here, and he would take me to preschool, and then he would take me out to ice cream. He taught me how to do math. He taught me algebra. He taught me everything really in grade school. And honestly, like, I can't thank him enough for that, and I can't thank my grandma enough either for like helping me with everything. Like, my grandma even helped me with science. Like, she like would literally Skype us and be like, okay guys, let's have our science lesson today. So it was really, like, honestly, they've just given up everything for me and my family, and honestly, I can't thank you guys enough, and I really love you all, and you're amazing people, and don't ever forget that.
Good afternoon, all. I'm the middle grandson in the family, and I just want to say my grandparents are two of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. I look to them for advice when I'm going through tough times. I often think what my grandparents do. Even when they're at their worst, they're still above the line. They've shown what it means to be a good person, to give what it means to sacrifice for your family, and I can't really thank you all enough. So we've also been here through thick and thin for our entire family, and it means the world, and I would not give up. I've had with y'all. We've had so many great memories and great times together, and I look forward to a lot more great memories and great times with y'all. So thank you so much. I love y'all.
So, as a lot of you guys in this family can tell, that from what all of us have said, our grandparents are really great people. But one of the things that I still always remember from when we were really little, well, a lot of you know how it's really hard to say no to a little kid. Well, Grandma and Grandpa literally spoiled me rotten. Literally spoiled me rotten. And whenever I asked for something like, if I asked for ice cream if we were possible, most of the time they would say yes, and give it to me almost any time. And I still laugh about it to this day. And another thing that I really like about both of them is that they're really protective of us, especially because when I was little, I was extremely stubborn and would go, yes, I would like off, and whenever any of us got into a dangerous situation, like in a split second, they would pull us away from that. And they would also help us with any of the troubles in our lives, and also they would help, like, I do remember when I was young, I think when I was 3, 4, and 5, we would do something like Marty would go to their house for a couple days, and Joey and I would. Whenever I was there, I would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and get scared. And our family is a very religious family compared to some, and they would come in, ask me what was wrong, I would tell them, and they would say, whatever's in your get out of here in the name of Jesus. I would immediately feel safe, and I am very grateful that they would always do that. And also, I still find it very funny that from all the stories that they would tell us from when they were younger, like, one of the funniest things I've heard about from Grandpa particularly is about when he ran a marathon with broken ribs. He was trying to coach someone with their fence in Hawaii, and then he put a coconut from the neighbor's fence fell on his chest, and he broke a couple of his ribs. He still ran 26.6 miles over a mountain and didn't care. And when he got back, what I found funny is that he then told me that my mom over there said, "Hey, Mommy, look, he's walking like an old man." Like, wow.